Now then, atheists of the north here, back again. Bit different this time. Usually I like to plan my videos, but today it's a bit different. It's going to be completely off the cuff. I have a special guest.
Very special.
Yeah, it's Mrs. North making an appearance.
And as you can tell, Mrs. North is from the south.
Mrs. North is posh. She was formerly Miss South.
That makes me sound like a beauty pageant queen. It's rather unfortunate. What are we talking about today?
Today, we was going to discuss the problems we have with Islam, weren't we?
Yeah, because it's really pissed me off, to be honest with you. It's very, very, very annoying. I think Computing Forever picked up on something I was thinking. I can't remember the group. If you tolerate this, your children will be next. It's all about what are we tolerating. I think that our ideas of society, our Western ideas of society, are completely under attack. What's commonly termed Western values. And we keep banging on about tolerance, or rather the majority of the regressives keep banging on about tolerance and how we should tolerate these other backward cultures. And it just makes me wonder, what are we prepared to tolerate? Because there's plenty of things we don't. For example, we don't tolerate murder. What do you think, Mr. North?
Mr. North.
Well, that's what you are.
I think the biggest problem is...
Shall I call you hubby, darling?
Oh, no. Mr. North will do.
Okay.
Okay.
There's lots of other things I can call you. Yes. But we're not going there. Carry on.
You have the problem that Muslim immigration, they're outbreeding the general public, the normal British public, and you have this big resurgence of the left wing at the moment as well, which seem to believe that Muslims are great. You've got this
Yeah, what is
relationship between the left wing and Islam. So as far as the left wing are concerned, Islam can do no wrong, even though it stands for everything that the left wing opposes.
It's like the awful women's march.
Women's rights.
Yeah, showing the hijab like it's some form of liberation.
Women's rights are fine and good for the West, but when it comes to the Muslim people, no, they're
yeah, but that's the problem. It's now migrated into the West. Let's use the hijab in the West, not as a symbol of what it is. You're oppressed. You are not equal.
Be lucky that you don't live in Sweden. The Prime Minister was threatening to make every woman wear it.
Yeah, I saw that. It's just that I really don't get. I actually think things like the burqa should be banned. I don't think you can ban headscarves, because I used to wear a headscarf. It sort of helps. It's nothing to do with the religion, but oppressive symbols. If we really stand for equality in our ideas in the West, why the hell are we supporting any sort of symbol that stands for oppression? I just don't get it.
Well, that's the entire left-wing thing. So with the left, you've got the gay rights and the transgender, the LGBTQZEZWR plus whatever.
Oh, which the Muslims would quite happily throw from tall buildings.
Well, that's the point, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I'm not going to say that Islam advocates for it. I will say that Muslims will, because as the Muslims believe in Islam, to be a Muslim, you must hate gays. And even if you don't absolutely hate them, you don't agree with it, you must believe, because it's the unalterable word of God.
Well, it's not the Quran, that's the Hadiths. The Hadiths is where Muhammad says that homosexuality is a sin and you must kill anybody who commits the acts of homosexuality.
So why are all these fucktards lining up with Islam?
Because they don't read the Quran, they don't read the Hadiths. They've never read it. They buy into this idea that Islam's a religion of peace. They don't need to read it. They're just told it's a religion of peace, therefore it must be true. And they just buy into that completely. So you can't convince them because they're stupid.
Would you ban the burqa?
I'd ban the burqa. I'd ban all, but then I'd ban all religious symbols in public places anyway.
Well, this is something else I wanted to discuss because there's been a lot I've heard from various people like TJ, formerly the Amazing
Amazing
Atheist,
atheist.
which I think he really did a bad thing changing his name. And also maybe Sargon, I think, has mentioned it. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. And I think Computing Forever. That the atheist debate is over. Well, actually, I don't think it is because if, let's face it, it wouldn't be justified. Although Islam is the main problem, I don't think it's justified just to say ban Islamic symbols because we have had debate after debate after debate before all this took off. With Dawkins and Harris and the wonderful Christopher Hitchens, how religion itself is a complete cancer, and how France, for example, a secular society, a wonderful secular society, in principle, God bless Macron, has banned religious symbols in school. So the atheism debate, in fact, is not over. Maybe it's only just started.
Well, it can't be over because you have Western countries now bringing in blasphemy laws. So you only have to look at Canada, who are bringing in blasphemy laws, and they're not even been generic. They're actually bringing in rules which specifically mention Islam and Muslims as well.
Yeah, fuck equality.
So
see, I believe
the atheist debate isn't over, and TJ maybe doesn't count so much at the moment because
he's sort of gone off on one.
Yeah, he's.
Love you, TJ, but you have gone off on one.
Not what he used to be.
Are any of us?
He's not the man he used to be.
I'm not the man I used to be either. That's another story.
I didn't know about this.
I'll tell you later.
Does that invalidate our marriage certificate?
I think this invalidates the conversation if we carry on. But yeah, where the fuck were we? Yeah. If we believe in equality, which I truly believe in equality, not stupid feminism, women are better. Being a woman.
Egalitarianism.
True egalite, fraternity. Yeah. True equality. Then we should treat everyone equal. And let's just treat all religions equal. Let's ban all religious symbols. And the other thing I would like to ban is faith schools. What bloody place have they got, especially in Britain, taxpayer-funded faith schools?
The taxpayer paying to brainwash children into fairy tale beliefs, and fairy tale beliefs that are twisted and biased. So Muslim children go to a Muslim school and they're brought up to hate Jews. Everybody else, if you say anything bad about the Jews, anti-Semitism comes up. The Labour Party get done for it all the time. Anti-Semitic.
Mainstream media.
But you just dare to mention that the Quran specifically,
Tommy Robinson, Piers Morgan,
is the most anti-Semitic book you can find, and you're vilified. It's all right then. Anti-Semitism is okay if you're a Muslim. It's fine. We just won't mention it.
Well, the other thing, that wonderful Dawkins documentary on Channel 4, where he went into the Muslim school and talked about science, and the girls thought
they didn't know anything.
Oh, hell. Science, right. It's doing a disservice to the children. And also, the other channel, lovely Channel 4 documentary with the coloured gentleman, I can't remember what the name was, but discussed Muslim. Yeah, well,
he was black.
He was black, whatever. Yeah, we're all coloured. Depends what face, woad. I'm blue if I'm doing my Celt. Talked about the non-integration, how Muslims really do not integrate and do not want to integrate, which is a big problem because that stops ideas from migrating.
Oh no, it's
and bad ideas from being criticised. Well, the thing is, when you have a faith school, that prevents the integration actively.
Sweden, government adverts say it's down to the Swedes themselves to integrate with the Muslims. And don't forget...
Why do we accept bad ideas? Why do we need to accept bad ideas? Why can't we take their bad ideas?
Because this is the left wing. This is their obsession. The left wing break everything down, break people down into groups.
Well, we talked about equality.
Egalitarianism.
Right, okay. As a woman, I really hate a lot of feminist shit because all the stupid pay gap thing. As a woman software engineer, I've never experienced any of the stupidity that the feminists go on about. I've never had a pay gap. In fact, right now I'm the breadwinner. I really, really do not like the fact that under the Muslim regime, women are not equal. And our whole principle is meant to be an equality. How can we stand up for these ideals when they do not promote equality? How can we have the feminists banging on about equality and the LGBTQRZ banging on about equality, and then going back to this support Islam? That's something
because
I
they don't believe it. So you get a Muslim woman who stands up and announces that Muhammad was a feminist.
Oh, the wonderful
Even
Salsa.
though, in the Hadith, Muhammad is quoted as saying that Allah made all women stupid as punishment for Eve's sins. He said that women were inferior to men creatively and intellectually. But because all these lefties, they don't read this stuff, they don't know it's there, they just believe whatever a Muslim tells them. So when a Muslim tells them that that's all lies, then they just believe it, that's all lies.
And Muslims have the right to lie to us, kafir.
Well, a Muslim has the God-given right.
Is that in the Quran or the Hadith?
It's in the Quran. A Muslim has the right to lie to a kafir if it's in defence of Islam. So if they're defending their faith, they're allowed to lie to you. So if it will be bad for them, if people actually realise that it was a sexist, homophobic, anti-Semitic, hateful, warmongering, murderous religion, then they're allowed to lie for it because they can defend their faith and say, no, that's not true. And then all these lefties just suck it all up. You see all these gays marching with banners supporting Islam, supporting Muslims who want to throw them off tall buildings, or, like they used to do in Iran, bury them up to the neck so they can't move, and then throw big rocks at their head and cave their bloody skulls in. That's what they're promoting. They might as well wave banners saying, please kill me. But when you speak to them, they've never read it. It's like after every single terrorist attack, which, surprisingly, it's always a Muslim, these people come out on Facebook and God knows what, Twitter and everything else, saying, don't jump to conclusions, it might not be a Muslim, and shock horror it always is. And then instead of defending the victims, they turn the Muslims into victims and say, don't have a go at Muslims, don't have a go at Islam. Islam's a religion of peace. But no, they come on and say, Islam's a religion of peace. But if you say to them, how do you know that? Have you read the Quran? Have you read the Hadith? Have you read the surahs? They've never read it. Well, if they've never read it, what right have they got to make any sort of comment on it? They sit there saying Islam's a religion of peace. But their viewpoint is completely invalid.
And you get people parroting it on Facebook, etc.
If you haven't read it, you don't know.
Going back to equality of life and religious symbols, that's something that really upset me when Sargon and it was another one. I can't remember which one it was. You might have to provide the link. But he was talking to V, and V can be a bit extreme in my opinion. But something I really disagreed with is the state, I'm not in favour of a big state, but we are in favour as Western ideals of the non-oppression of minority groups. Or the non-oppression, forget minority groups, this is identity politics again. Non-oppression of anyone. And as far as I'm concerned, the burqa, hijab, symbolise, I don't care if it's a woman's choice, because that was the big argument from Sargon, it's a woman's choice to wear it or not. Is what it symbolises. We don't like people wearing swastikas because it symbolises something. You wouldn't particularly like certain symbols that mean that you hate certain people. And we don't welcome them into schools, we don't welcome them into public places. Now, these symbols represent the systemic oppression of women, and the justified, through the Quran, oppression of women. And that's what I'm in favour of getting rid of, saying it's about tolerance again. We do not want to tolerate that.
The trouble with V is Romanian, so is not no.
Sorry, Romanians, we love you.
It's not that it's Romanian. It's there's a language he's having to. He speaks pretty good English, but he is having to. Sometimes it's difficult in language translation. I think so. Sometimes the way he explains himself doesn't come across. Whereas when Sagan is talking, obviously English is his first language, he's well spoken. He comes across a bit better, but it doesn't make him right all the time.
No, it's
on that instance, he was wrong. He was right, absolutely.
Here's a good one. You know, I forget what the woman's name was. God, my memories. I'm getting old. When you had apartheid basically in America, and blacks were forced to sit at the back of the bus.
Oh yeah.
And
Parks.
Rosa Parks. That's it. Refused to sit at the back of the bus. Now, people could have said, well, there's loads of blacks that choose to sit at the back of the bus. It's fine. We can keep it that way. All the blacks want to sit at the back of the bus. That wasn't the point.
It is now. That's what they want. All the blacks in universities, that's what they want. They want black space and white space. They want to be separate. They want segregation. These blacks, if you said to them, do you think it'd be a good idea if the back of the bus was just kept aside for blacks? They'd say, yeah, that's a cracking idea. These people, they have no idea of their own history. They have no idea of the civil rights movement of the 60s. Yeah. They are pissing all over it.
Well, that's the thing. This is symbolism. Say all the black people were choosing to sit at the back of the bus. That is not the point. The point was they are being forced to, whether they like it or not. Same with the hijab, same with the burqa. I don't give a shit whether the people choose to wear it or not. They are being forced to wear it.
This is left-wing intersectionality. You break everything down into groups. So you're a black person, you're in this group. You're a woman, you're in this group. You're gay, you're in this group. And they break everybody down into groups. Instead of just saying everybody's human and everybody's an individual, and we'll just treat all individuals exactly the same.
In our ideology.
But the left wing doesn't do that. You have to break people down into groups.
Because actually we're not entitled to anything. The only reason we actually get anything is because we decide it. That's where our tolerance comes in. We decide we don't tolerate murder.
Maybe that's why the left wing have so much respect, if you want, for Islam. They do exactly the same thing. The left wing are
dictators.
No, they are the most homophobic, racist, sexist group of people.
Because all gay people are like this.
Yeah,
all women
they put everybody
like
into a
this.
box. So they believe in the segregation of all these groups. Well, that is racist. That is sexist.
Absolutely.
So the left wing are a bunch of sexist, racist homophobes.
And when you don't belong in the box, like I happen to get on with men very well, I work with men fine, never been subjected to any of this stupid pay gap bollocks, because it's actually illegal, then suddenly I'm the bad girl.
Oh yeah, if anybody dares, from one of these groups, dares to speak out.
Like Tree
Logic.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my solution to
Marlo.
this...
There's this big example, isn't it?
It's lovely.
Milo,
engage you.
A white supremacist. Is a white supremacist. You know, this gay man who likes black men.
The gorgeous Milo. That everyone, see, that's the other thing. Everyone takes him so seriously. Where's our sense of humour? It's killed our sense of humour, and especially with British people. Our sense of humour relied on a lot of irony, etc. One of my solutions to this is we currently say, right, our ideology is such that what we don't tolerate, and this is important for me, tolerance. We don't tolerate businesses paying women less than men, for example. We don't tolerate segregation in the office. All you women have to sit there, all you men have to sit there. We don't tolerate different treatment based on gender.
You will if the left wing have their way.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if Corbyn comes to power in Britain? What are you going to do then? Because if Corbyn comes to power in Britain, that gives so much power to the far left.
And that is so patronising. I am a woman that can do the job. I do not need, if I'm not good enough at my job, I don't deserve to be there.
These people, they're not interested in equality of opportunity. They're interested in equality of outcomes. So you put a woman in charge of a business rather than a man just because she's a woman. It doesn't matter if she's shit at the job.
And you know the worst thing? I mean, I've chosen not to have children. I've chosen my career first. That's what I've chosen to do. And it denigrates, excuse me, if you want the human race to actually carry on, it denigrates women who actually just want to stay at home. Who would like to stay at home, look after the household, look after their children, and be the traditional mother. And they are saying that's bad. What is wrong with that if they choose? You know, you're allowed to choose to wear a flipping hijab, a symbol of oppression, but you cannot choose to look after your family.
Well,
that you're something less than a piece of shit if you decide to do that, and that's
I haven't got any
disgusting.
research at hand, but I'm sure the research will validate the fact that children brought up in an environment where they have a parent at home with them are more successful, less likely to do drugs.
Well, you'll
and
have
crime.
to check that out. You'll have to check that out.
But it doesn't matter. Common sense alone tells you.
Anecdotal evidence.
Yeah, that's got to be the case. Needs to invalidate all of that.
Well, something I wanted to get back to is we do not tolerate inequality in the workplace. It's actually illegal, right? Okay, fine. Religious organisations, right? Well, religion, as far as I'm concerned, is a load of bullshit, but it is an organisation. It is an organisation. Let us just amend the law and not give them special privileges.
Tax.
Privileges. Yeah, forget the tax. Let's just make them.
No, the tax is a big one. If you took away the tax exemption from all these religious organisations, most of them would disappear at their own asses.
Well, that's one good thing.
You wouldn't have to force them. They would disappear just because they won't be able to afford to continue.
What I would like to see is to make it illegal to do things like the Muslims do in the mosque and segregate women and men. I'd like it to be illegal to do the sort of things that you can't do in a business, because basically your mosques, your churches would fold overnight.
But you get that
because all you're saying is, this is our ideology, this is our secular ideology, and okay, you can believe what you bloody well want to in your house. You can treat your woman like shit in the house, she's prepared to take it on. But once you're an organisation and promoting that, you should abide by our ideology.
But that's exactly why you need the tax exemption is that step, because the tax exemption says they're not a money-making organisation, they're a charity, they're a religious group, they're a charity. If you take that tax exemption away, that then, by definition, puts them on par with a business. Mm-hmm. That's why the Scientologists were so obsessed with tax exemption.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Because by getting that, it wasn't just a case of the money, it freed them up. They were able to get away with a hell of a lot more because they were no longer a business.
Catholic Church be eligible for a hell of a lot of tax.
Well, just tell me all shit away.
But it would stop the debate, for instance, forget about Islam for 2 seconds, about, can women be priests? Well, yeah, you'd have to. Tough shit. We're all equal.
Why do women want to... That's the thing, isn't it? Here's the question. Why would women want to be priests anyhow?
Well, can't answer that, dear.
Wouldn't it be better just to educate these people that it's a load of shit and it's all lies and it's all bollocks?
Which comes back to the atheism debate is not dead. My solution is treat religions like businesses, make them abide by the same laws, because we have decided as a society what we will tolerate and what we won't. Let's make everyone stick to that. The mosques, all the rest, they couldn't operate.
They should also have to come under. Do you know something that niggles me now and again is you have to be careful about libel and saying things that aren't true.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So.
Thank you, Mr. Hislop.
But they get away with that. So we have to be real careful and say, in my opinion, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. But a priest doesn't. A priest can go public in front of everybody and say Jesus was the Son of God. Surely that's illegal. Surely you should have to say, in my opinion, Jesus was the Son of God. Because that's only his opinion. You can't.
Yeah, that's the problem.
In public, it should be that if you're going to make a statement as a fact, you should have to be able to validate that and actually prove that it is actually a fact. Otherwise, it's just opinion, and you have to differentiate.
And the thing with religion, it's a whole ideology based on opinion. Which, I would get rid of faith schools. I would get rid of religious symbolism.
But now we've got politicians who aren't Muslims actually condemning anything that you say that's anti-Muslim as blasphemous. They use the term blasphemy, and they're not even frigging Muslims.
No.
How can you commit blasphemy if you don't believe in it?
Well, actually, it's very simple, because under Sharia law, if you commit blasphemy, you just get killed. So that's sort of
that's the future of England, isn't it, at the moment? That's the way it's heading. If the leftists get their way, well, most of the lefties will be dead because so many of them will be thrown off the tops of rooftops anyhow, won't they?
Just
These people will be the first up against the wall.
when the revolution comes.
Yeah, when the Muslim revolution comes. You know, we always thought it was going to be left wing, you know, the commie revolution. As it turns out, yeah, that was all bullshit.
Smith.
Yeah, it's the Islamic revolution that's coming. Won't be up against the wall, it'd be buried up to your neck.
Now, we both hate hour-long YouTube streams. We do listen to them, but it has to be broken up between wine in my case and coffee in my husband's case. Do you think we should start wrapping this up?
Yeah, what were we on? 25.
What do you think of my idea of treating religions in the same way as any other organisation and treating them, holding them up to the ideas that we expect in a more secular society? I know that we don't have a constitution in the UK.
We don't have it. Well,
you know,
the UK isn't a secular society.
No, but
we run
on
a monarchy and a head of.
We don't run on Judeo-Christian principles in the same way anymore. Otherwise, you know, we'd still be.
Well, the idea would be to eliminate all that part, have a secular, like France.
But do you think that would help solve the problem? Just treat religion as what it is.
Well, it'd be the first step. The absolute ideal would be actually to ban all organised religions. That's my personal ideal is the ban of all organised religion. Believe what you like.
Mm-hmm.
Believe anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can believe in fucking elves and unicorns. I don't give a shit.
Teapots?
But when you actually turn that into an organisation and you have somebody that's in charge of that organisation who can make things up and say, yeah, we're going to adjust it and tweak it, and this is what we're going to believe tomorrow, like the Pope, for example, who speaks on behalf of God, and things like that, then that's bad. Now you've got to get rid of it. Believe what you like, but why do you need a church? Why does a Christian need a church?
Same way you need the things with the imams, so you can indoctrinate people.
Yeah, that's all it's about. Well, if it's true, you don't need to indoctrinate people, do you? If it's true, it's not about power.
And therein lies the problem. Thank you for having me today, hubby. I'm going to get some more wine, so I need a break because I would like some more Chardonnay.
Okie doke. Well, there you have it.
Thank you, Mr. North.
Thank you to Mrs. North, formerly Miss South.
Oh, don't call me Miss South. I have to wear a swimsuit and a sash next.
Coming on with a posh voice and showing me up.
Mind you, are you going to object if I turn up in a swimsuit and a sash next time?
I won't object. People might object who are watching it because they're just going to see the avatar. We'll have to change the avatar.
Oh, God, no. Okay, on this note, I'm going to leave and go to the fridge.
All right, then. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks for joining to the handful of subscribers that'll actually sign up to listen to it. And see you again soon.
And leave comments.
Always leave comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Blah, 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 blah.
Bye.
Bye.